Hello, I'm Jennifer Hancock, and I want to introduce you to my new channel, the Bollywood Humanist. Um, I am I'm a humanist. I'm an author of several books about humanism. I also teach about how to get bullies to stop using science and compassionate ethics. And yes, it does work. If you want to learn more about that, go to thebullyvaccine.com. Now, what I do in my spare time is I watch a lot of Indian movies. And I found that, um, when I comment on these things, I get a lot of interest in it, both from people in the West and people in America, and also Indians who are interested in what Americans like me think about humanism. And I think, so I decided I'm going to start, doing trailer reactions and movie reviews, focusing on the cinema of India, hence Bollywood. And the reason I like Indian movies so much, and this is a question I get all the time. Here's why I like them. I think they're the most humanist movies being made in the world today. Now, I grew up in Los Angeles. I have friends in the film industry. I've always had friends in the film industry. And I've watched films from all over the world. I'm a big fan of Japanese cinema and Chinese cinema and French cinema and Italian cinema. And, one of my favorite directors is Polish. So, I watch a lot of movies. And the reason I like Bollywood is the movies, they're very humanistic. And yeah, they're long, and sometimes they have song and dance. But they give you enough time to really focus on the human relationships that are at the heart of every story. It doesn't matter what story you tell, you're probably telling a story about humans. Even if the story is a parable involving animals or chairs, you're still learning something about what it means to be human and the hero's journey and how we view ourselves as human and how we look at the heroes and we consider whether or not we could be like that person or not. These are really all very important things to be thinking about if you're a humanist. And there's a reason why the humanities, the study of the arts, the study of song and dance and storytelling, and in all its various forms, is called the humanities, and the people who study that are called humanists, is because we can't consider what it means to be a good human being without examples. And so storytelling is one of those ways where we get those examples. And I happen to really like the stories being told by Indians at the moment, to the point that I'm watching them almost exclusively, even at the expense of American cinema and not Japanese cinema. I'm still watching Japanese cinema. So if you're in India, you already know this next bit, and that is that Bollywood refers specifically to Hindi language films. There's also a Tollywood and a Collywood and a Sandalwood and so forth. And those other woods, I think there's like 14 of them. India is a huge country. It's got a bunch of different languages, and all those different languages have their own film industry. So there's Kannada films and Bengali films and Tamil language films and Telugu films and Marathi films and so forth. So Bollywood only really refers to Hindi language films. It doesn't refer to Indian films. It refers to the ones made specifically in Mumbai in the Hindi language. All right. And there's a reason why I focus on that cinema, and that is because it's easier for me to get in America. Like the 3 language movies I can see in the cinemas here is Hindi language. I can sometimes get a Tamil language movie, especially if it's Rajnikant, and I can sometimes get a Telugu, but even that is sketchy, and I've only ever seen one Kannada film in the theaters here, and I wasn't able to get out to it even though I really wanted to see it. So we're focusing on Bollywood. That doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about other movies. I will on occasion. So why humanism? Well, first, I'm a humanist. And it's really hard for me to not, when I'm considering the morality of a story and whether I liked it as a story, I'm considering it as a humanist. I also think it's useful to talk about the moral implications of the stories we're watching because, again, storytelling is used to help us think of what if I was this person in this situation, would I handle it the same way, or is there a better way to handle it? What can I learn about courage for myself in my own situations right now from this other person I'm watching, whose story I'm watching unfold? That is an age-old a thing that humanists do. We look at examples of what a good human is, and then we try to adopt those to ourselves. So I'm going to take that same lens and apply it to these movies and talk about what we can learn about what it mean, what the moral thing to do is based on what we're seeing in this movie. I also want you to know that it's not just going to be, I'm not just going to review and react to Hindi movies. I'm also going to react to Telugu movies and Tamil movies and Marathi movies. Sometimes I'll react to TV. I do take recommendations, so if there's something you want to see me respond to, please let me know in the comments. But I also watch American movies, and I watch Japanese movies, and I watch Chinese movies, and I watch Dutch movies, and I watch Italian movies, and French movies, and so forth. So if I see something that I want to talk about, I will review and react to it on this channel. Okay? So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and give me your recommendations. Oh, one last thing. Forgot. I have a company called Humanist Learning Systems where I have online courses on humanism, like how to make better decisions, how to think ethically, how to plan for success using critical thinking and your values. And so if you're interested in learning more about humanism, or you've got professional problems you want help with, that's what my company is for. I teach humanistic business management, I teach humanistic selling, I teach how to win arguments without arguing through the Socratic method, things like that. So go over and check out my business website as well, and support me. Yay.